Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to learn how to make a keychain tag, name tag, luggage tag, just like the one seen here. Let's go ahead and get started. Come on up to File and New Design. So if you're in my class, this is just sort of a fun activity we do to get introduced to 3D printing in CAD. So for our document settings, we're going to go ahead and go with inches for now, and later we will convert them over to millimeters when we export the STL file. All right, so let's go ahead now and start a sketch here. We're going to come on up to create, and we're going to do a 2-point center rectangle starting at our origin, and we're going to drag out a rectangle about 2 inches, hit the tab button, by 3 inches, hit enter. I'm going to zoom in a bit here. And now I'm going to go ahead and draw a circle somewhere in this vicinity over here. And we're going to make that circle with a diameter of 1 inch. Hit enter. Okay, and we are going to, let's go ahead and use our horizontal constraint to make sure it's horizontal with our origin point here. And then let's dimension it so that our center of our circle is 2.5 inches from the center of our square here. All right, I'm going to go ahead now and hit escape and delete some of these construction lines. Okay, now I am going to grab my line tool, and right over here, I'm going to basically just kind of draw a line to my circle, something like that. And do the other one on the other side. Okay, and now I'm going to come to my tangent constraint, and I'm going to make this line here, I'm going to click on this line, and I'm going to make it tangent to this circle. I'm going to do the same thing here, tangent to this circle. Okay, and now I'm going to get my trim tool. I'm going to trim that guy and trim that guy. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and apply some 2D fillets. So we're going to come over here to fillet, and we're going to make this one 1 inch and this one 1 inch. So click there and type in 1. Okay. Enter. And then we're going to add some more fillets on this corner here. We're going to make one here, a 0.5 fillet and a 0.5 inch fillet there, and hit enter. All right, now let's grab a circle, and we're just going to drag a circle like right here, give it a 0.5 inch diameter, hit enter. And we want to make it concentric, so we're going to click the concentric constraint. We're going to click that guy, and now it's right on the center and concentric with our larger 1 inch diameter arc here. Okay, let's go ahead now. I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to finish my sketch. And if your sketch ever disappears, just click on that eye right there. And then we're going to extrude this guy a distance of 0.125 or 1/8 of an inch. Go ahead and hit OK. Okay, looks pretty good. Now, let's go ahead now and add, we're going to modify it. We're going to add a chamfer along the edge of it. So we're going to click right here, and we're going to add a 0.125 or 1/8 inch chamfer on the edge of that. Hit OK. And we're doing that because think about this. If this wants to go on your keychain, okay, this little edge right here will make it a little bit easier to slide, okay, into that keychain when you know how some of those are kind of hard to open up and get your keys on. Well, hopefully with a little chamfer on the edge, it'll make it a little easier to get on there, okay? All right, and the last thing we're gonna do now is to write our text here on the surface. So let's go ahead now and start a sketch here on the surface. All right, so let's come on over to create and come on down to our text tool. And I'm just gonna kind of click, somewhere over here. Don't click on that point because it'll add a constraint. Click right there. Okay, and then we're gonna type your text here. Type whatever you want, get creative, okay? I'm just gonna type your basic, your name here. I'm gonna make it bold. And feel free to change the font styles around and fool around with it and get creative, okay? All right, and I'm going to go ahead now and hit OK. All right, and I just want to do one thing. I want to make sure this line is parallel with this line, okay? And now we can dimension it, and you can add dimensions to center it or move it around. So I'm gonna justify everything here about 0.4 inches from that side, okay? All right, now let's make our next line of text. So we're going to create, we're going to come back down to text, and I'm just going to kind of draw it, somewhere over here. And then when my text box pops up, I'm going to type in information, and let me fix my spelling. I'm going to make it bold, and I'm also going to make my font a little smaller. Let's just go with 0.3. Okay, and like I said, feel free to use whatever font you want. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, and now let's go ahead and justify it so it's the same distance. I'm going to justify everything to the left here, so they're all the same distance from the side, so 0.4 inches. But I want it to be a little more centered in the middle, so I'm going to click here, and let's try 0.75. And let's raise it up a little more, so 0.72. Let's just go with 0.7. All right, and that's not bad. Okay, you guys can fool around with it and get it centered as best you can. Let's go ahead and add our last line of text. I'm going to come on over here. Just going to click down here. And like I said, you could add your name. You could add, if you're making a luggage tag, you'd probably want your phone number or something like that, your address. It's up to you. If you're making a keychain, if you lose your keys, you might want your phone number in case it gets lost. Okay, whatever. You can just get creative and write whatever you want. So your name and information goes here. I'm going to make it bold again, and we're going to use the same font size as before, 0.3. I'm going to use Arial and hit OK. And once again, I'm going to justify everything to the left. So I'm going to click here, and we're going to make that 0.4. And it looks pretty centered, but I'm still just going to throw in another dimension. Everything looks pretty nice and in line, but let's just go with 1.2. Okay. And that looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and hit escape and finish my sketch. And I'm going to go ahead up and extrude it. And click on my text. And we're going to extrude it a distance of 1/16 of an inch, 0.0625. And hit OK. And when you're done, you're going to have your text kind of popping up, something like that. Now notice something, you could have also extruded inwards, okay, so that your text is kind of hollowed out. And if you wanted to do that though, you got to make sure that you use a, like a stencil text, or else the middle of your O's will fall out, all right? All right, so the last thing we want to do now, okay, is to go ahead and select modify, and we're going to give it an appearance here, and you can give it whatever color you want, blue, green. I like to go to paint because there's a lot of cool like glossy things and different textures and all sorts of different things. Powder coat, rough, you can give it sort of a matte finish, right? So get creative, do whatever you like, okay? Let's go with powder coat blue, see what that looks like, okay? And then if it works, oh, maybe it's a downloadable one, so never mind, I can't do that one. But let's go with, let's just go with green, make it look, here's gray, let's go with gray. then after that, I'm going to give it a material. We should always give something a material. It's just good practice. And I'm just going to select your basic plastic, such as ABS plastic here. Okay. And then when you're ready to 3D print, remember to do, if you're going to 3D print this, you got to go to document settings here, and you got to change your units here to millimeter and hit OK. Okay. Then you're going to come to your body over here. You're going to right click on your body and you're going to do save as STL file, because 3D printers need STL files, right? So you're then going to come over here to refinement. Oh, sorry, refinement. You want high, okay? Medium would probably work, but just to be on the safe side, let's go ahead and select high. Go ahead and hit OK and save it to your thumb drive or computer, desktop, wherever. Okay, I'm going to hit cancel. Okay. Don't forget to save it when you're done. You can save it as name tag, keychain tag, whatever. Okay, I'm just going to save. And I already made one, but I'm going to call it 2. Okay, that will do it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.